Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Déjà Vu for the Game Boy Color. I already completed the run on the NES version, and I'm just, like I said, showing off as like a bonus what it looks like on the Game Boy Color before moving on to Déjà Vu number 2, the second case, Lost in Los Angeles. So when you complete the case number 1 in this version, it'll give you a little cutscene that'll take you right into case number 2. So I'll get to show that off. Also show off a few more little things here. All those drugs that I took there, I'll show off basically what you can do. Just a little dialogue that you get if you try to give those drugs to other characters, such as Mrs. Sternwood, the bum who tells you about the hit on you, and the Sugar, the woman outside the police station. So, like I said, see, they softened up that little bit there. They added that little thing that, the priest was the one who believed in you, where in the Macintosh version he was kind of mean to you. And then they cut that out entirely in the NES version, so they softened it up a little bit here. They still made Taco out to be bad. Taco looks a lot more vicious in this one as well. So, alright, let's use the last of the Med 6 on the capsule, and that gets us our memory back. And as you see, I have 3 doses of the Medicine 1, the Truth Serum, basically, the sodium pentanol. You can remember the description of that says, makes people tell the truth, and they can, even if they're unconscious. So that's what we're able to give it to sleeping Miss Vickers and Mr. Sternwood. Alrighty. So let's get the lighter out of here. Show off, like I said, burning a bunch of stuff. That's another way we can get rid of evidence. Pull out the lighter. Like I said, we want to basically burn the stuff that has Joey Siegel's initials on it, and then that file 5 that we just, the file 5 that we're about to take out of Ace's office. Now I'm going to show off what happens if you get shot by this guy, just so we can see what the hitman looks like in this version. Remember, if you shoot him and you go into the thing, he's just dead on the floor, and you can't see him because he's behind your desk. So, let's see what he looks like in this version. Looks a little more sinister. More like the Chicago gangster with the Tommy gun. Boom. So yeah, it's a professional hit. But I guess he's not too professional, because he doesn't see us waiting outside the door. We see him clearly inside the door. And we're going to shoot him. Like I said, the first time I was playing through the game, the NES version, I showed how you would know that that guy's in there, because when you pay the bum 50 cents, he tells you, hey, there's somebody there's a hit put out for you. They're going to be waiting in your office. So, gotta open this file and get the incriminating evidence. The cabinet, file 5. That's the only one we need. The other ones just give some more background information. So we just want to get that file 5. We want to look at it, then we can burn it. Once you basically look at it, then it allows you to burn it. So this is the IOU that basically gives us a motive for capturing the woman, but we know it's a fake IOU. Yeah, don't want to have that caught on us. We will set it on fire. Use the lighter on file 5. Yeah, that's another way to get rid of some stuff. We can burn a bunch of other things. Like I said, the bookmark that has Joey Siegel's initials on it. The locker has Joey Seals and this was on too, but they let you keep it because obviously you need to burn stuff with it. The map and the snapshot. Snapshot shows Miss Stonewood, who we were supposed to kidnap, and the map was the route that we took to, that we were supposed to take to kidnap her. The hanky also has Joey Siegel's initials on it to make it look like as if we took him out because our gun, the bullets used in our gun were the ones that killed him. So it looked like they made it out like we killed him and robbed him. So just for prep, we'll put the medicine 1 in the capsules, and we'll get out of here. We'll head back to Pulora Street and head back to Joey Siegel's office. We've been talking a lot about him this episode so far. We want to head back there now because we have the combination to the safe. We got that from Miss Vickers' bungalow, which looked a little nicer on the outside in this version, but looked worse on the inside in this version. So, pay the good old cabbie. Bob. Bob was the name of one of my rats. I'm going to do a playthrough of Bubble Bobble eventually. My brother and I like to play that game as kids. And the two protagonists there are Bub and Bob, the two little dinosaurs. So of course when I do that playthrough, I'll have thumbnails being Bub and Bob. The thumbnails for this one are my last two rats I just had. Patrick Swayze and Rat Damon. Yeah, I mentioned in the last episode, the mugger seems to be more common in this one. Like I said, I had to really farm the third and fourth encounters with the mugger playing the NES version, where in this version, he just seemed to pop up on his own. Joe's bar again. Or Joe's place. They censored it from he owns a bar to now he owns a restaurant that has a hidden casino inside. Shady guy. Yeah, we're gonna learn basically the shadiness of Joey Siegel here is what basically sets off the plot for Déjà Vu 2, the second case. Turns out that he owes some money to some gangsters. And Ace being the last person to, technically I guess, well, they thought the last person to see him alive. Although obviously it wasn't, it was Miss Vickers who shot him. But the mob comes after us, knowing that we had a close association with Joey. Remember, Joey used to be our manager when we were a boxer. Of course, where the bad blood came between you and Joey, that of course Stonewood and Vickers tried to use to make it you look like the one who killed him. Alrighty, let's open this thing up with the new key we found, key 4. Take the gag then off of Miss Stonewood. That way we can give her the truth medicine to get her to tell us the last address we need to go to. And I'm not going to do it here, but after the episode, after I finish the game and show everything off, I'll go back here and show like the dialogue you get when you try to give her some of the other drugs, like if you put the medicine 5, 4, those medicines. 5 being the euphoria-inducing drug, chemopapin, Opherio being the one that is for heart murmurs, which could be fatal. Surprisingly, it doesn't hurt her. And neither does the Medrazin, the one that we took, that kills you if you take it. Just getting some of the sodium pentanol ready for the future. I forgot to do it in the NES playthrough, but you can, like I said, give that drug to Stonewood and Vickers. You can't give any drugs to this guy because he's so out of it. You try to force something down his throat and he's just like, bleh. So you can't get him to stand still. Like I said, I'll show that off a little bit. We'll finally use the blue cabbie here. So, the blue cabbie will take us to our next destination of final place. We're going to get most of the evidence against Stonewood and Vickers in Vickers or Stonewood's mansion. We also need to get the letter from the mailbox. If you don't get this letter and dispose of it, the cops are going to nail you. So yeah, don't forget to, in one of my test runs, I forgot to take this letter out. And yep, it wasn't until I took the letter out, returned back here, burned it, that I whatchamacallit, was able to finish the game. Actually, no, you can't actually burn the letter, but you do have to read it. Gives more incentive to clear your name. Right. Now let's get out of here. Yeah, see, I'm going to try to burn it, but it won't let me. No, not yet. Let's go take out the butler here. He isn't described as a wimp in this one, but they make him look a little older. So, yeah, specifically say, he is an old man. Thunk. Surprisingly, Ace does not get arrested for assault. All the people he's been knocking out. And we don't have to go into the kitchen, but I just want to go in here to show off this memory. Remember, if you look at the pan, you would get a memory about your old mother. They expand on the memory here a little bit. So we'll get to learn that Ace's favorite cake was chocolate. And apparently he wasn't very popular, I guess, in school because none of the other kids showed up. But it didn't matter to Ace because he still had his mom, so Ace must be a mama's boy. Alright. So head upstairs. Let's get those last two pieces of evidence. And like I said, I'll show off what Vickers and Stonewood say when we give them the sodium pentanol. The evidence, of course, is in the two dressers, nightstands, letter 2, and then the other room is the diary. Let's give Mr. Stonewood some truth serum here. And let's see what he has to say. Gotta follow the timetable to the letter and then destroy the evidence when we're done. It'll look like Ace did all the dirty work and that Siegel was the mastermind. I'm not worried about the missus suffocating before anyone can find her. He drifts back into a deep sleep. So we now know he was deeply involved in this. And this gives more detail, spells a little bit more detail than in the NES version. Basically, it gets further cements that Joey and Miss Vickers were in a relationship, not just her being his secretary. They actually were in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. And of course, Joey got mad because she decided to leave him for Mr. Stonewood. So Let's see what she has to say under the effects of the sodium pentanol. Once again, pencil on the memo. Oops. Used the wrong thing. And this will give us the last piece of evidence. And of course, you have to read. I realized in this version, you have to actually read the evidence. I guess when they, when you go tell your story to the cops, if you never read the stuff, you won't know what to tell the cops. So you gotta be sure you read the diary, the memo, and the letter 2 to clear your name. I said not that it'll do any good because not long after we finish this case and save ourselves, that we'll find ourselves in debt with the mob. We just do case number 2. Let's see what Miss Vickers has to say under the medicine. You don't owe me, Joey. I'm through with you. It's simple. You're gonna die, and I'm gonna continue to see John. See, this is for you. This guy's what you get for meddling in my life. So that must have been the last words she told him before she plugged him. Remember from the NES version, how we played she confesses to the crime on the stand. So she just confessed in her sleep right there. Alrighty. Well, we got everything we need other than our innocence declared. Let's head back to the cops and solve this case. And like I said, in this version, it ties right into case number 2. We'll get a little bit of a cutscene that'll take you right into case 2. So I'll just be starting case 2 from a new file. So you'd actually, if you start from a new file, you basically just skip this cutscene. Well, actually, I want to show everything off, so we'll be seeing this cutscene here. We've got all the evidence we need now. We just got to get rid of a few more things. I said, obviously, we can't burn the gun. So we're just going to have to get rid of it in the sword. Let's drop our stuff in there. Remember, the trash can is your discard. Discard the wallet. You can't burn the wallet either. I guess it's maybe like leather or something that doesn't burn. And then the motor weapon, the 38. Oof. Alright. And then that will be it. And they won't let you get rid of the lighter. That's even though it has Joey's initials on it, I guess because, like I said, they want to give you another way to get rid of evidence. You don't want to throw it in the sewer. No, throw it in the sewer. It might end up in the, like I said, it might end up in the ocean then, somewhere. Some dolphin will choke on it. So once again, just to be safe, we'll read the diary, just like the letter and the timetable. It lets us know what Vickers and Stone were thinking when they plotted this whole big scheme. Let's get out of here. End up in the back alley, and of course we get to run into the mugger. We'll end up giving him our $20. Otherwise he'd just knock us out and take our coins as well. But hey, we're not going to get to keep this money anyway because we avoid getting beaten up by the mugger there, but we will get beat up by some henchmen after this case is solved. You'll see that in that cutscene coming up. Alrighty, let's clear our name. There we go. Ace clears name. So once again, we get the same ending. The pictures are a little bit different. And they won't show that scene where Ace is just hanging out on the street in his trench coat. Instead, we'll get to that cutscene. They'll describe how we find ourselves once again in a bathroom stall at the beginning of Déjà Vu 2. Luckily, though, we still have our memory. We ain't getting drugged in for Déjà Vu 2. We will know exactly who we are. But, and here we go. The cops are lawyers are gonna grill them, admit to the crime, and we are cleared. Like I said, we're not out of trouble because we're gonna get this cutscene here. It's going to lead us into case number 2, Déjà Vu 2, Lost in Las Vegas. So actually, this one it's a bigger scale. We'll be in Las Vegas, but instead of being just in Chicago here, we'll actually be going between like different locations. We'll be going from like Las Vegas to Chicago, so it's bigger in scope, but it's still, you know, roughly the same size in terms of rooms that you interact with. So here we are. We stayed in Chicago. Suddenly a crash shatters the early morning hour. This is followed by some muffled yells that are quickly cut off. Unfortunately, those muffled yells are yours. Or Ace's. Silence returns to the rundown neighborhood. No one notices as 2 goons carelessly dump a 3rd man into the trunk of a nearby car. Ace being the 3rd man. Although the 3rd man in WCW was Hulk Hogan for the NWO. And once again, we find ourselves in a bathroom stall, but we'll see that when we play Déjà Vu 2, which I'll be playing, like I said, next. Probably in a day or 2, I'll start. But I'm going to finish off this episode, like I said, just showing off the different things, different reactions that these characters have if you try to drug them. Funk. What a terrible human being Ace is. He knocks this lady out and then tries to force drugs down her throat. But I guess she's basically used to so many drugs that none of the stuff takes effect on her. They actually kind of say that. Nothing happens. She is probably immune to the medicine. We actually learned that Miss Stone was like that too. Immune to the medicine. Nothing happens. I think in the Mac version, you could actually kill them. I think I read that you could actually kill them when you inject them, and then of course that makes the game unwinnable. Because even if you clear your name, at the end of the game, the cops will be like, hey, we found, you know, one of these ladies dead, either Sugar or Mrs. Stonewood. Speaking of Miss Stonewood, let's see how she reacts to the medicine. So this is that stuff from Medrozin for nerve gas, which if we take it, it's fatal on us. But Miss Stonewood shrugs it right off. Well, she's having an adverse infection, but it doesn't kill her. 5 is the one that gives euphoria. Let's see if it gives her euphoria. Nope. Probably immune to the medicine. And she's also immune to the other ones. Medicine 4, which is for the heart murmurs, and medicine 3, which is for the overeating pain. You figure you get something made for the overeating pain, and she probably overeats. And they say she's 400 pounds. Precise with my movement. nothing happens. I mean, like I said, you can't even give the bum medicine, because if you try to give him any of the medicines, or any of the capsules, doesn't matter what medicine you put into it, it basically says he's too squirmy. Let's try to feed the bum. He's staggering around so much you can't give him the medicine. And that does it for this episode. I'll see you in the next playthrough, Déjà Vu 2. Take care, have a good one. Bye.